Hi and welcome to this State of Flow class. Today we're going to be doing a full 360-degree workout. It will be focusing to begin with on the hips, but you will feel it in your entire body. You don't have to have blocks, but if you have them around the house, or you can even have 2 bricks to imitate these bottom thinner blocks here, and 2 bricks if you need them later on. Mat at the ready, or if you're on a carpet you might not need the mat. And then from here we're going to come into squat. So if you need your thinner blocks or your books, then feel free to grab them, place them underneath your heels and drop down. We want to try to use these to assist us, not to get lazy in our practice. So if you've been doing this for quite a while and you're finding that the blocks are not moving you forwards, then try your best to maybe use a thinner block or a book, or take them away altogether and work on just sort of hanging into the ankle mobility. We don't want to become stagnant. The whole purpose of this squat is to find it comfortable in a rest position without any support. So use them if you need them. We're finding ourselves in squat. Let's settle here. Feel free to put any of your own music on. Candles. And let's find a little bit of space. I like to find the space with a little movement, a little buoyancy in the joints. So maybe rock into the outside edges of the feet, maybe forwards and back. Even if the heels are off the floor, you can still move around a little bit. We're not bouncing around here. We're just moving, playing, exploring. And then we're going to gently bring the hands to the floor out in front of us. Let the knees come together, let the feet track in line, and extend the arms out into child's pose. Bring the forehead to the floor. Take a deep breath. And again, one more breath. And we rock back into the squat. So we bring the hands back, tuck the toes under a little bit wider. Remember to sit back into the squat. And you can either go back onto the books, onto your blocks, or onto the floor. And again, find a little bit of buoyancy, a little bit of play. It's what yoga is, it's playtime with your body. Some days we can get more play out of it, other days it doesn't want to cooperate, but we practice anyway. And we're coming down again, hands down in front, drop onto the knees, sit back into child's pose. Take a deep breath. And let it out. And then bring ourselves back into that squat. We're going to do a little reach now with this squat. So heels dropped, and reach the arms as far away from you as you can. Still sinking the weight back, but reaching the arms forwards. And then from here, we're going to walk ourselves forwards one more time, knees down, extend the arms, keep the toes tucked under this time. We're kind of halfway between a child's pose and a puppy pose. And then we walk the hands back in, come back into that reaching squat out in front of us. And then we're going to bring the hands in. We're just going to step the right leg back. Doesn't matter if you come off your mat, just step it back. So I'm not putting any weight in the back leg, all the weight's in my hand, and I'm just working on this left ankle. Rocking forwards, maybe sort of pushing that heel down, maybe wiggling the other leg back a bit further. You can see my knee is over my toe, it's okay, we're really safe here. Unless you feel any pain, then you move out of it. And then we bring that back leg in. Take that reaching Malasana again, reaching squat. Feel free to tuck the head in to get a little bit more length. And then we walk the hands in and we send the left leg back. And again, working on that ankle range of motion. I've got better range of motion in my right ankle than my left. We're always a little bit unbalanced. That's what yoga teaches us. To find balance even in those moments of imbalance. And then we're going to bring the hands forwards, bring the back foot in and sit into that squat one last time. So your ankles and hips knees probably will be very aware that they're being moved right now. And then we're going to drop onto the knees and take a full puppy pose now. So relax the toes, extend the arms. Again, it doesn't matter if you come off your mat. Tailbone up, chest, chin or forehead on the floor. Take a couple of breaths. Spread your fingers on the floor. And then bring the hands back in. So we're going to be in box position here now, hands directly under the shoulders. Just take a little swivel right to left. Swinging of the hips, a little bit of movement. And then start to make it sort of circular, so round and spine into cat stretch. And wiggle right to left. Doesn't matter if you're going one particular way. If you want to change directions, do it now. Don't overthink it though, just move around. And then come back to the centre. So from here, I'm going to extend the legs back into a half plank position. Press your thumb and first finger into the ground and just check the eye of your elbows are pointing towards each other. They're not forcing themselves forwards. And then we're going to inhale here. Stay here for an exhale. Inhale, move back. Stay here for an exhale. Inhale, move forwards. Stay here for an exhale. Inhale, move back. So you move on the inhale, you hold on the exhale. I'll let you keep going like that for 3 breaths. I will do it as well. Inhale. Your breath can be at your own pace. I won't talk you through it. Just enjoy the freedom of moving with your own breath. When you come forwards this next time, stay there. Tuck your toes underneath and come into high plank. Eye of the elbows, thumb and first finger, crunching your tummy, pushing the floor away from you. And then we're going to step the right leg into lizard. So it's coming wide of your right hand and gently drop on your back knee. And then from here, I'm going to try and sort of push the weight forwards. I don't go very far. I'm kind of pushing the weight forwards into the front leg and then backwards a little bit. And then forwards. And then back. There's not much movement there. And then there's the option to go side to side. So I push the weight to the right, push the weight into the left hand, and then into the right leg, and then into the left hand. And then maybe we can make circles, maybe. Incorporating all 4 movements. If that's not for you, don't do it. If you want to lift off your back knee because that's niggling, of course you can just lift off the back knee and do this. Circles in the other direction. And then from here, back toes tucked underneath. We're just going to walk the hands back and lift the right toes. You can bring your hand, this is where you might need your blocks if you need them. We're only going to be here for about 3 breaths. We're lifting those right toes up. Try to lengthen through your neck. You'll see me lifting my head a lot. I keep doing that. I have to lengthen through the neck. We all have our weaknesses. And maybe you want to come to your hands like me. Maybe you want to stay down on the heel of the hands. Maybe you want to come to your fingers. Maybe you're on blocks. And then from here, we're just going to walk the hands forwards. And we're going to step that leg back into squat at the back of the mat. So I'm going to walk myself back, drop down, reach forwards. Just for 1 breath. And then walk the hands in. We're going to take ourselves into a forwards fold. Keep the toes slightly turned out and just tip the head Tuck the chin in towards your chest. You can hear my voice. Really tuck it in for 3, 2, 1. Then we walk all the way forwards. Coming into plank. And then stepping the left leg into lizard. Dropping down on the back knee. And then just try that little rock. Left, right, forwards, back. Just a couple of times. And then if you want to try the circles, or just stay with left and right if you want to. Again, it's your call always. Never push through pain or discomfort. So if you need to lift off the back knee, do it. Change directions. And then we're going to lift off the back knee here, and we're just going to walk the hands back. Lifting the toes, squaring the hips off, wherever you need to put your hands, blocks, floor, fingers. Maybe play around with the toes a little bit, maybe. And then we're going to walk the hands forward, step the leg back, and then come into that squat reach again. Tuck the head in. And keep the head tucked in as you walk the hands in. Square your toes off and take a forwards fold. Let the head just hang. Shaking it out. Starting to become aware of your body movement. Completely in the room now. Shutting off anything in your practice, anything in your day, sorry, that doesn't serve your practice. We are completely 100% here now. And then we're going to walk the hands all the way forwards. Bring the right foot into lizard. Gently drop on the back knee. Sweep the arms up and twist to the right side. Looking to the right hand, lunging forwards. Drop the left hand, lift off the back knee and take 2 big circles. 1, 2. Bring the hand down, walk it back, lift the right toe. Squaring the hips off. And then walk forward, step the leg back into that squat, walking the hands all the way back. Getting used to being this sort of little animalistic crawling around the floor. Squaring the toes off, straightening the legs, tucking the head in, and walking the hands forwards into that high plank, bringing the left leg into lizard. Dropping on the back knee, we sweep the arms up, and then we twist to the left. Looking to the left hand. Sink the lower body, rise the torso and reach the fingers. And then drop the right hand, lift off the back knee, make 2 big circles. And then we place that hand down, we walk the hands back, lift the toe. And then walk forward, stepping it back into that squat. All the way back in. Reaching forwards, tucking the head in. And then we bring the hands in, square the toes off. This time we're going to interlock the hands around the base of the skull, top of the neck, bottom of the head, and just let the arms gently pull some length into the neck. You're welcome to bend your knees here if your hamstrings are really pulling. Or you can straighten the legs, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to release the hands. Slowly roll the spine up. Yeah, just feeling that roll, uncurl. And then we take 2 big rolls of the shoulders. And then on that 3rd one, just roll it back. Place the fingertips pointing down your low back and lift your chest. Press your tailbone down with your hands and grow tall out of the front body, out of your ribs, out of your chest, out of your throat. Ground your feet. What you don't want to be is this position, leaning back here, arching. We want to be growing tall, and only when we're fully lengthened do we extend. And then we're going to walk all the way forward. So we roll down. When the hands get to the floor, we walk all the way forwards. And we bring that right foot into lizard again. So you can see there's a lot of lizard here. So now we're going to try and do a cross between a pigeon and a lizard. So I'm going to roll onto the outside edge of that right foot. So if you can see I'm on the outside edge, maybe you just want to stay here. If rolling causes your hip any pain, don't roll, just stay on the flat foot. Maybe you want to stay here, or maybe you can experiment and come to your fingertips, or maybe you can come up. So there's this power element here. Try not to bounce into it, just let the twitches happen. Hold it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, bring both hands back down to the floor, and then we're going to pivot to both toes. So we're on the little side, knife edge of both feet. If the right leg's too high, just drag it down a little bit and take the right arm up. Both legs are the bottom leg is nice and straight and the right knee is bent. Pressing strongly into the left arm. If you've got any movement there, take it. If it's not for you, don't. Enjoying life. And then we're going to pivot round. So the toes come back, both toes point forwards. And we use the hands to come round into this pivoted Cossack position. So I've just changed my foot position here. So my left foot is pointing over to the side. I know as I'm looking at you, that's the right side. Pointing over to that direction, and the right foot is square. So we're dropping down. Don't take Skandasana. I don't want you to go down to here today. I want this to be a strength position. Sink as low as you can for 3, 2, 1. Then we bring the hands back to the floor. We pivot round into that pivoted position again. So both the toes turn, pivot, pivot, pivot. Right arm goes up. Any movement that you've got, take it. Or if you find there's a particular bit that feels like a deeper stretch, stay there if that feels good. And then we do that again. So we pivot the feet round. Maybe you don't need your hands on this one. Maybe you can just come up and sink into it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we go back into it. Maybe you need the hands. You can put them on the floor if you need to. Left hand down, right arm up. Okay, so from here, I'm going to pick the right foot off the floor and I'm going to take it behind me into a wild thing variation. So I'm actually taking the shin to the floor here, and then I can't actually push anywhere from here. So I'm going to bend the left knee and then I can start to reach. Reach through the hand, length through that front right side, pressing that right shin into the ground. For 3, 2, 1. The fun bit's getting back. You can do it however you need to. I like to press into that bottom leg, spin around and bring it back to the top of the mat. Take a breath here. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to pivot around into that Cossack. Coming up, pivot the foot, sink. For 3, 2, let's add it all together. 1. Hands come down, pivot the right foot onto its side, right arm goes up. Then we take that leg round into that wild thing on the shin, bend the left knee. If you want to do more, you want to take more, just press into the foot on that right side. And then you can lift up the knee and shin. For 3, 2, 1. So we have to return, bring the foot to the top, pivot round into Cossack. For 3, 2, 1, coming back to the top of the mat. Then from here, we're just going to take a hop in with the back leg. So it comes in sort of 3/4 of the way. And then we're going to rock backwards and pick up the right big toe and stand. So if that doesn't quite happen for you, so you go down here to pick up, it doesn't happen, feel free to grab the shin if you need to, but it's same arm, same leg, left hand on left hip, right leg out in front of you. Relax your shoulders and breathe. So of course your body's been moving a lot already, just find a sense of calm. And then we're going to place that foot back down exactly how we got it up. So I bend the knee, and place the foot back down on the floor. Bring the hands down in front, use any blocks if you need to, and bring the back leg parallel with the floor. And I want you to look at that left foot. Squeezing the buttock on the left side. You're not trying to lift it high, you're bringing it pretty much parallel. It doesn't matter if it's slightly higher. And then we're maybe going to take the right arm up towards the sky. Look up at that right hand. Keep driving through the left heel. Reaching, twisting in your spine for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hand down, bring your feet together. And we're going to sit in this deep, it's not a squat really, this deep little hack into the ground. So if you've got tight ankles, again, you might find this a little bit of strain on your shins. Just use your hands on the floor. If you're okay with this, you can just take a little balance, settle here. If it's accessible to you, you can just hug around the knees and drop the heels on the floor. Let's take 3 breaths. Nice, bringing the hands down if they're not already. We're going to step back and take a vinyasa. So one leg at a time, cobra or up dog, lower your chest down to the floor, knees or toes, dive up. And push back into a down dog. So although we haven't done any of those moves before, they're in many, many other classes. Any pedaling? Because we've been fairly stationary for the last minute or so. If you want to pedal, feel free to pedal. And then we're coming left leg forwards into lizard. Then we've got that cross between the pigeon and the lizard. So we roll onto the left little toe, side edge. Maybe come to the fingertips. Maybe coming up. So we have to prepare ourselves to take the load here. Soften in the strength. The stronger we get, the softer we need to be. For 5, 4, 3, 2, both hands come down, and then we pivot both toes onto that knife edge. Always drag this foot down if you need to, top foot. And then the left arm goes up. Any movement that you need to take it. So now I'm going to be facing away from you for this Cossack. So we're going to pivot round with the feet. And then we lunge into it. Sinking down, dropping the tailbone. Should be the right depth. If you feel like you need to walk your foot wider, then of course walk your foot a little bit wider. For 5, 4, my knee and toe should be pointing in the same direction. And then hands come back down to the floor, we pivot round, all the way around, turn onto the both little toe sides and hold it. Movement or no movement. And then we return. Return, return, return. Drop down into it. Sinking, but growing tall. So we're sinking into the legs, growing tall through the torso. If you don't need your hands, you don't have to use the hands as we pivot round. Right hand comes down. Now this is where we're going to take the left leg over into that shin wild thing. So the leg comes up and we take it over, placing the shin down on the floor. Bending the right leg and lift and reach. Now we have to come back, so we press into the hand and the foot. We return that foot to the top of the mat. Just take a moment here. Before we go back into Cossack. So we come back up, adjusting the feet, sink. So we're going to do that, a little flow now. 3, 2, 1, travel round. Hand comes down, pivot both feet. And then step it over. Shin to the floor. Lift. If you want to lift your back knee, you can do for 3, 2, 1. Slowly return it to the top, coming back to that Cossack position. For 3, 2, 1. Returning. Stepping it back. For 3, 2, 1, and then returning that leg right to the top of the mat. Hopping the back foot in a bit, and then we're going to lift up that left leg. Standing tall. Right hand on the right hip. If you're not quite holding the foot, you can hold the shin or you can hold the knee. Trick your body with a little soft smile on your face. And we're going to place that foot down exactly how we picked it up. Place it on the floor, rock the weight forwards and lift the back leg parallel with the ground. And then we take the left arm up. So you're pushing through that right heel, looking up to the left hand. Breathe, lengthen out all directions, heels, crown of the head, fingers. And then bring both hands back, feet together, and drop down into that sort of hack position on the floor. Heels can go down and hug yourself, or you can just reach forwards. Tucking the head in. Okay, hands down. Stepping back, cobra or up dog, your choice, knees or toes. Take a full breath in, down dog. And then you're going to step your right leg all the way through to the top of the mat and turn into goddess pose. So I'm going to turn slightly so that I can see you and you can see me the whole time. So I'm going to turn lengthwise, but you can stay on the length of your mat. So we're in goddess pose here. Arms are up. We're going to sink down as low as you can before your hips go lower than your knees. So if you have to go a little bit wider, do so. I'm going to do 10 pulses. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we lift up, we're going to turn the feet, square them off. If your legs are really wide, like massively wider than your shoulders, then just heel toe the feet in just a little bit. And we're going to turn. So you're going to turn over your left shoulder. And as you turn over your left shoulder, you twist your feet, bend your knees, and you end up in a seated position. If that is not accessible to you, so you can turn over your left shoulder, lunge down onto your right knee, and then lower yourself into this twisted position. So in the twisted position, you're in a sort of half shoelace. We're not in a cross-legged position. We're over the top here. So we've got the left leg over the top of the right, and we're going to reach over towards the right foot, so to the left side. We're going to take 2 big calm breaths. Hard to breathe in this position. And then we return. Shouldn't have to tell you how to do this. It should just unwind naturally. Yes, drop into goddess. 10, 9, widen your feet if you need to. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square the feet off. So we're turning over the right shoulder now. Whatever variation you did last time, drop down. And then we lean to the right towards the left foot. 2 big deep breaths. And then we return. Coming up. Goddess temple pose, sink, 10, 9. If anyone can rise onto the balls of their feet, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, square off over your left shoulder. Leaning to the left, so towards your right foot. 2 breaths. And then we return. Coming up into goddess. Heels off or not. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, square it off. Turn to the right, dropping down. So now we're twisting to the right, towards your left foot. 2 breaths. And then return. Last 10 squats. Your choice. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze the knees out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Square off the legs and take a forwards fold. Let the head, neck and shoulders just go. Make sure your toes are squared off. Keeping the right hand on the floor in the centre, peel open with the left arm. Keep the hips nice and square. Twist through the back. And change sides. Pop the left hand down. Peel open. Twist through the back. Don't drop into your hips here. And then change one last time. Peel open with the left arm. And then left hand down, peel open with the right arm. And then both hands down. So we're going to pivot round to the top of your mat, step your feet back into down dog. Let's have a little bit of freedom here. Right leg's going in the air. I want to make 3 big circles with your right leg. 3, 2, other direction. 3, 2, 1. Bring your right knee to your right tricep. Round your spine. Lift that knee up nice and high on your tricep, almost to your armpit, and send it back up. You're going to push the knee up and open. Let your spine twist. Look underneath your right arm. Draw your right heel towards your buttocks. Press into your thumb and first finger. Take the stress out of your wrist and breathe. Now we're bringing that right knee to the left tricep. Up high as you can for 3, 2, 1. Send it back into 3-legged dog now so the hip stays square. Look at your right toe. Tuck the neck in, lengthen, press your thumb and first finger down, relax your shoulders. And now right knee to the nose, as close as you can get it. For 3, 2, and 1. Send it back into the air just briefly before it comes into pigeon. So bring that right knee across, or right shin across the body, drop on the back leg, and then lengthen the back leg away from you. We're going to undulate through this now, so just check that your right knee is to the right of your mat and your right foot is to the left of your mat. It doesn't need to be in a straight line, just need to feel, you just don't want it tucked down the centre of your body here. Firstly, it puts a bit of strain on your knee and it doesn't feel where you should feel it in the hip. And then just walk the hands away. Take 1 big breath. Exhale. Walk the hands in as you inhale. Exhale. Inhale, walk them away. Exhale. Inhale, walk them in. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, walk them away. Exhale. Inhale, walk it in. And then we're going to use strength to lift up. We're going to float that shin off the floor. Push the floor away from you. Curl your heel in as close to your back of your thigh as you possibly can. And then step it back into down dog. Have a little pedal. Let's give your legs and core a little bit of a breather as we roll forwards into plank. And you can choose here. Stay here in high plank. Take a little baby hover or a full hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, cobra or up dog, your choice. And then extra press or no extra press if you're in cobra. If you're in up dog, push back. So the left leg is going in the air now. And we're bringing that left knee to the left tricep, nice and high. 3, 2, 1. Push it back into a hip stack. So maybe take that little twist if you can. Drawing the left heel towards the left buttocks. Take a breath. And then bring that left knee to the right tricep, up as high as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Send it back into three-legged dog. So we stay square, keep looking at the left toe. And then bring the left knee to the nose. For 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Look at the left toe. And then bring it into pigeon. So the knee comes across the chest, or shin comes across the chest, and lengthen the back leg away. And then we walk ourselves down. Just double checking your posture like we did on the other side. Take a breath. And exhale. On the inhale, walk your hands in. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale, walk yourself forwards. Check the back leg is lengthened, stay here for the exhale. Inhale, walk it in. Only as far in as you feel comfortable to. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, move it out. Inhale, walk it in. And then we press hard into the hands, lift and float that leg. Try and curl that left heel towards your buttocks, knee towards your nose, and then step it back into down dog. Rise onto the balls of your feet, snake yourself forwards, hover, or just stay in the plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, cobra or up dog. Extra press or no extra press. Take a full breath here. And then we're going to step through to seated. So right foot through first, then left foot and come through to seated. If it doesn't quite happen like that, that's fine. Straight away into a half boat pose. Relax your shoulders, shins parallel to the ground. Hold on if you need to, or let go. Let's hold this for 10, 9, 8. Imagine your belly button has jumped into your spine and up through your vertebra. 3, 2, and 1. Pop the feet down. So I'm going to demonstrate this one very quickly. I'm going to come back into half boat. I'm going to straighten the right leg and reach around for the left foot. If you can't quite reach the foot, you can grab the shin if you need to. But you've got to go around both legs, yeah? You've got to go underneath. The whole aim is that this right leg has to stay up and elevated on top of your right arm. So come into boat, straighten your right leg as much as you can, and then reach your hands around to try and find your left foot, shin or calf, and then hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right leg all the way down, cross your left leg over the top, place your hands on the floor and just try and lift your bum. If it doesn't happen, don't worry. Lift for 5. I'm pressing into the feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Come back into half boat. So now we'll do it with the left leg. So I lengthen the left leg up, reach around for the right foot for 5, 4, calm breaths. Keep lifting. And then lower the left leg down, so I have to let go, obviously. Right hand goes over the top, hands come down, and we lift the bum for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Bring your legs back up into half boat. Straighten the right leg. Reach for the foot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold on to it. 4, 3, 2. Lower the right leg Ooh, left leg over the top. Now, if you want to lift the feet as well, you can do or do it just as you did just now. So we lift the bum, lift the feet if it's possible. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Come back to that half boat. Last time. You've got this. Straighten the left leg. Reach for the right foot. 10, 9, 8. I so know that you noticed I made that a little bit longer. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg down, right leg over the top. Ready to lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. We're going to roll all the way to the floor this time. Take a full body stretch. Okay, we're going to release the hands down to the side. We did a lot of work in the front of the hips here, so we're just going to open it up with a bridge. So we're going to place the feet flat on the floor. We're going to start to tilt the spine and then lift the hips off, walk the shoulders towards each other. And I want you to, don't worry too much about strength. You can use your hands if you need to. I want you to try and find some length in the front of the body without causing tension in your low back. So I like to use my hands either on the buttocks or under and on the low back, depending on how much height that you can get here. Ooh. Sorry, I lost my mic then for a second. And then if you want to, you can rise onto the balls of the feet. Maybe that gives you more space. Really squeeze your buttocks. Tilt your pelvis and tuck it underneath. There's a little crunch in your tummy for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands, drop the heels, roll the spine down. Widen your feet to the edges of your mat and just drop the knees to the right. So we're starting to feel a little bit of length from the front of the left thigh here. So we're driving the left knee down towards the floor. And if you want to put the right foot on top of your left knee, you can. If you don't want to, leave it out. Don't have to. And then release the right foot, take it over to the left, so the right knee is now drawing down towards the floor. And just try to channel your breath into that sort of right front belly, right front hip. And if you want to put your foot on the other side, do it on this side. And then we're going to release. And I just want you to sway a little. Just sway a little, free it off. And we're going to come around onto our bellies, so we're rolling onto our fronts. All the hard work's almost over. So from here, we're going to press quite strongly into the arms to lift your chest up, yeah? Don't be dumping into the arms here. You want to lift the chest up. Now I'm going to take my right hand off the floor, which means I need to move my left hand more central. Left arm, left elbow. So there, I feel really supported by that left arm now. So I'm going to push with the left arm, bend the right knee, and check that I haven't raised my hip off the ground here. If you raise your hip off the ground here to get that foot, you have to be able to push the hip back down. Otherwise, don't grab the foot, just work on bending the knee and pushing your hip down. If your hip lifts off here, there shouldn't be a gap. We should be pushing the hip down. A key way to do that is to crunch your stomach muscles really tight and squeeze your buttocks. Now, if you've got the foot, you can push the foot towards your bottom. Opening your shoulder, but not turning with it because of your spine. You want to square your shoulders off, but as much as you can. There is obviously a little twist. There has to be with the nature of where your arm is. Take a deep breath into the front of your right thigh because I know you're feeling it. My tummy muscles, you can't see it in this top, but my tummy muscles are pretty much crunched here, crunching off the ground. And then we're going to change sides. So I put the right elbow where I can support myself, bend the left knee, check for that space under that left hip. reach the left hand around. If it lifts and then you can push it back down again, fine. Try your best not to let that hip lift, otherwise you're not doing what we're intending here. Again, pressing strongly into the right arm to keep you elevated. The lower you go, the harder it is actually to hold on to the foot because the left shoulder doesn't like it. 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Just stay on both your arms and keep lifting your chest as if you're dragging yourself along your mat and up. Point your toes, squeeze your buttocks, suck the belly away from the ground. And then release. Coming back onto our backs. Sorry, my mic has fallen out of its clip. So we're going to come back onto our backs here. And if you've got a block and a blanket, you can use that now. Or if you've got a bolster, I'm just grabbing mine, you've got a bolster, you can use a bolster for this now. I will demonstrate with the bolster and with the block, should we need it. So with the bolster, bum really nice and close, and then you just drag the bolster, you may have seen this in some of my other videos, onto the low back, and we're just going to extend the legs at hip distance, maximum shoulder distance, again to free off here in the hips. If you haven't got the bolster, you can use a block, so you can place the block on the sacrum. You might want to put a blanket on top of it if the block's particularly hard. And then you can extend one leg at a time, obviously without the bolster in the way there, and just settle onto it that way. You might have to keep your stomach crunched on the block just because it's a little bit firmer than the bolster. But your choice, whatever you've got here. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths, inhaling for a count of 6, exhaling for a count of 6. So we're inhaling for 1, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Now don't worry about counting the breath, but try to still breathe a fuller conscious breath. You can stay there if you're comfortable to stay there, or you can move your bolster to behind your knees, or just find a comfortable position for you to take your Shavasana, basically. Spend the first few moments of your Shavasana checking that you are comfortable. Don't let your posture and your body be a distraction to you for the next few moments. And once you've found that comfortable position, if you listen carefully, you should be able to hear the birds and the trees and the wind outside. I've been talking at you for an hour, so I'm going to be quiet. Gently remind the muscles of your face to let go. And while you lay here, I want you to speak kindly to yourself. In fact, I want you to speak enthusiastically to yourself. Well done. Well done for your practice. Well done for turning up, for doing it, for doing what you could, for exploring, for trying. Your body has been honoured. Even if it felt hard today, you have honoured, possibly even more so if it felt hard today. Lie there feeling grateful, grateful of your movement, grateful of your thoughts. That funny saying, think about what you're thinking about. Let it feed you, let it nourish you, let it nurture and develop you. Don't let it beat you down. Grow tall with your own words, grow stronger. The stronger and more resilient we are, the softer we become, because we can help others. It overflows. We can empathise, we can love, we can give. Because we've strengthened our own structure. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.